Hey guys, today I'm going to be unboxing the Master Grade Psycho Zaku Ver.Ka. So if we want to, I guess, go by the full name, it's the Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Psycho Zaku. And then brackets Gundam Thunderbolt, and then Ver.Ka. It's kind of a very odd kind of title. I think we'll just call it Master Grade Psycho Zaku Ver.Ka. Anyway, just want to take a moment to once again, and as always, say thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store. A huge thank you. They are an amazing sponsor for me, and they're just super awesome for giving me all these kits to share with you guys. So if you guys are living in Australia, please do check out their site. The link is always down in the description below. They obviously do a lot to help support me, giving me kits to review for you guys, so it'd be awesome if you could support them too. So just something to think about. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Master Grade Psycho Zaku. It's the first version Katoki Zaku kit that we've got. We've got a handful of Ver.Ka Master Grades out there, and usually anytime I show something Ver.Ka, someone always asks, just for anyone who maybe doesn't know what that means, version Katoki Ver.Ka anyway just stands for Katoki Hajime, who's just a mecha designer. Anyway, so this is basically Bandai works together with him to create the design for this model kit. So that is what that is. Anyway, so yeah, it's his first time doing a Zaku, and I gotta say the design it's cool. I mean, it's a cool design. It definitely has like all of these signature aspects of a Ver.Ka. It's got like huge legs, has all the decals and stuff everywhere on it. So it should be pretty interesting. And yeah, we've known about this kit for quite a long time, for quite a few months, so it's been highly anticipated. Finally out, and it's, yeah, pretty intense. This box is very, very large, one of the biggest Master Grade boxes out there. It's just about the same size as the Master Grade Sazabi Ver.Ka, actually. So yeah, going to be quite a lot of stuff in there. Obviously, the majority of what's in there, or at least half of what's in there, I would say is just parts for the backpack and weapons. So this box is like half a Zaku kit and then half a just kit of just weapons and backpack and that huge giant fuel tank out the back. A lot of people didn't really like that when that was first finally shown, that this version was going to include that huge fuel tank in the back. I personally like it. I think it's so like extreme. It's just kind of awesome in that way. Yeah, of course, that's going to make this kit a bit of a brick, although we've seen some like some promo images of the kit like posed, and it looks pretty cool. So it looks like despite that gigantic backpack, you can still do some posing with this. So I don't know, we'll have to see. It does have those articulated arms on the backpack as well, which will help like doing some cool poses holding the weapons with those arms in the backpack and all that. I have reviewed the HG version a few months ago, so if you want to check that out, you can see how that's going to compare. Of course, I'll compare them in the review. But let's get into it, because there's a lot of stuff in here to go through. So just first, the typical Ver.Ka style box art here on the front. Just got the Zaku there, and then in the back just kind of a shadow image there of the Zaku just flying with the beam bazooka. It's cool that this version includes the beam bazooka. The HD version did not. So that's another thing that this one has that the HD version didn't have. So let's go on here on the side of the box. Just got same kind of stuff basically here. Nothing really new. I saw that Hobby Link Japan in their video, their box had this special like marking there on the side showing that it included the special decals. Mine doesn't have that marking. I guess this is just the normal box, but I don't know if it has the special decals, the metallic decals that Bandai's doing as part of their campaign at the moment. If it doesn't, I'm kind of fine with that, because I don't really care too much for those decals. But anyway, here on the side of the box, just showing all the armaments and stuff. So we have the main huge fuel tank, two smaller fuel tanks, as well as like a lot of weapon rack equipment there for holding all the weapons and stuff. The backpack looks really interesting compared with the HG. Like all this detail here in the center part was like black, and it was kind of weird because the backpack is a really dark color, and then you have to stick on these like black stickers. They were like invisible. In this case, all those little detail parts in the center, they're all white, which is cool. They'll definitely show up a lot more. Then we've got these weapons here, the beam bazooka, just regular, I think that's called a giant bazooka. 3 of those, I think. Zaku machine gun, not sure how many of those, maybe, I think a couple, 2 maybe. And then Panzerfaust, I think there's 3 of those, or something like that. There's a lot. I wish that it showed like the actual quantity. Oh, it does show the quantities here, sorry. It says Armament Beam Bazooka 1, Giant Bazooka 3, Zaku Machine Gun 2, Stormfrost 3, Heat Hawk 2, Magazine times 4. So you got a lot of stuff there to work with. Over here we've just got a couple of just images showing some detail shots. The cockpit hatch opens, the detail of the shoulder there, detail of the backpack without the giant backpack on, the mechanical arm, the kind of coverings that will cover the joints as well as the energy cables around there, of the giant booster on the back, the claws on the bottom of the feet, and then the legs without the kind of extra covers. So it has this like extra part on the side of the leg, but you can actually just take that off and just have it like the kind of smaller high mobility type legs on that, which is kind of cool. I actually kind of prefer the other style legs, but I'll just keep those covers on mine for now anyway. So here we've got a whole bunch of information. Here, this is all in Japanese and English, which is really cool. Here on this side, just front and back image, what the kit is going to look like once it's all painted and decaled up and all of that. So yeah, obviously very huge. It can stand on its own, but it includes this little extra little stand here. So you actually get two different stands with this. One is like the main stand to hold up the whole thing, and the other one is just like if you want to just have it standing, you get just like this extra little piece for standing up the backpack. The list price for this is, and you can't see that, there you go. The list price for this is 9,000 yen, so definitely not cheap. This is definitely one of the most expensive master grades out there. Alright, so let's get this guy opened up. Finally, you might be saying. Alright, this is something that I know I've seen this posted online already. This is an amendment to the decals, so it shows you the incorrect and the correct markings for the decals. I think this is kind of stupid because it just says 87 and 86 on the opposite side, and here it's just showing you 87 and then 86 on the opposite side, which is just kind of dumb. But I think the point is that here it said ×2, which was maybe confusing or something. I don't really know why, but either that or I'm just not reading something correctly there. Another little something there. We've got a whole bunch of inner frame parts here. I know that this does use some stuff from the Zaku 2.0 kit, so I think definitely probably some of the weapons I would imagine are from the 2.0 kit, and then some of the inner frame as well. This I know because it's the same runner that was included with the Ifrit Schneid, which I also just unpacked, but you guys haven't seen that review yet, so that'll be coming soon. Just more stand parts. That looks like a lot of like structural parts, as well as the mini stand for the back. Some white parts there, including like the white ring around the giant fuel tank. It's cool that's an actual part and not just a big huge white sticker. More weapon parts, more red parts, more weapon parts, more frame parts. See, a bunch of gold parts. Those are actually just molded gold. Kind of nice shade of gold though for those. We'll take a look of course at all the runners here momentarily. But let's just get through some of this stuff first. Here's our very giant sheet of waterslide decals. Tons of those, obviously. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then the joint coverings and pipe coverings there. So it's going to be the same like the Master Grade Gundam. Full Armor Gundam. Got some springs in here as well. Guessing those are also for the tubing. A whole bunch of red parts. That dark red color, that dark brown color is parts for the backpack, I guess. More kind of frame parts and other kind of structural parts. A lot of the larger armor parts there. Of course, our huge fuel tank parts. Very big. I do have the campaign decals are here. So these are just metallic decals. So I don't know if I may end up using any of these or not. I don't really care too much for metallic decals, and I'm not going to paint the kit in metallic colors. A big stand here for the main stand. And finally, our instruction manual. So let's take a look at this. This is Psycho Zaku Gundam Thunderbolt Ver.Ka. All of that. Here at the bottom, UC 0079, Living Dead Division. Pretty cool. On the back, just standard Ver.Ka styling there as well. On the inside, like again with all Master Grade Ver.Ka instruction manuals, we get a whole lot of nice images here, including some of like the images of the designing process, taking like Katoki's illustrations and turning those into like three-dimensional files and then turning those into the actual model kit. So like here's what I mean, you can do some actual posing with this. Of course that's pretty much just posing the Zaku while it's attached to that giant backpack. So yeah, do some cool stuff with that. Next page here is our parts list, and it looks like we've got A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, see here's runners F and G. You can see there's a lot of X's on those parts, so I'm guessing those are runners from the Master Grade Gundam, Master Grade Zaku version 2.0. So the F and G runners, and here H, I, J runners also have a lot of X's on there. So I'm guessing those are all inner frame runners and all using parts from the Zaku 2.0. So anyway, here's a bunch more new parts, more weapons parts there, bazooka parts. Yeah, those are from the giant bazooka, and those include a bunch of frame parts as well, which we'll not use. Then parts here for the backpack and fuel tanks. Turn the page, and we do have more runners on this page, but no more X's except for a couple here, which I think those are polycaps, and then one here on that base runner. There's a part, I'm guessing that's an adapter. We're going to have a different adapter in this case, I would assume. So the construction is going to start off with the body. I'll just kind of go quickly through this just so you guys can get an idea what the order is on them. Here is how we're going to be applying the tubing. So if you're interested in that, I think this is just like, that's just like one solid piece, and then you're going to be slipping the covering over that. So that's how that is going to work. Then moving on to the head, and the application process looks like it's going to be similar for that as well, just one solid piece and then slipping the covering over that. So then onto the right arm. Right arm, there's the shield construction there. Left arm, and the construction of the shoulder armor. So I was wondering about the outer piece of shoulder armor, if there was going to be a seam on that, but it looks like there's not. So you can see there's that piece there. Won't be any seam on that, so that'll be nice. Constructing the upper body, putting that together, then moving on to the legs. Legs, of course, we have the coverings fitting over the joints on the legs as well. And then just legs, 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 legs. There's the, for the side of the legs, it's not a solid piece, but that's where the springs are going to go on the cables on the side of the legs. So you'll have that there. Then more legs, 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 and then finally moving on to the waist. But then we get to the middle of the manual. In the center here we have the illustration. So there's the, I guess, Kotoki's illustration that they based this off of. And then just, again, more kind of planning phases here. You can see like there's like the 3D render of that. And then like of the arm, waist, legs, things like that. Planning how like the arm will work. All of that cool stuff. So it's cool. All of this is all in Japanese and English. So that's cool. This will be really cool to just read later. I'm going to focus on just snapping up the kit first. But later when I have time, read that. Then working on the bottom, the legs, the armor for the legs. So you're building the armor, the outer armor for the legs separately after you've already built the legs. Then you'll go in and add the extra armor onto that. Then finally onto the weapons, the beam bazooka first, then the Zaku machine gun, the giant bazooka, then Zaku machine gun, Stormfrost, and then the large backpack. So then we'll finally get to building the backpack, backpack, and then the base, and then lastly the rocket boosters. So there's the two smaller ones, it looks like, there, and then mounting all the weapons onto that. And then the one giant one, so it's just two pieces there for the main part, and like a bracket piece, a cap piece, more parts like for the bracket of that, and then the end we have a few pieces that will go around there, and then the thruster bells, and then that will snap into the lower fuel tank, and then we'll put all the stuff together on the upper fuel tank, and then attach that one last, it looks like. So then attaching all the weapons onto that, how to use the manipulator arms. Then finally we're getting to our color chart. So here's the color chart for that, again in English and Japanese, so that's nice, as well as the seated pilot figure there. The standing pilot figure, maybe we don't have. Interestingly, I guess he kind of, well, I guess he has peg legs, so he could stand, but interestingly, that looks like we may not have a standing pilot figure for this kit. But anyway, this is all the markings for the decals here as well. So there's for the backpack and the Zaku itself, front, side, details, and back. And then on the fuel tanks, of course, we have a lot of details on there as well. Some more information here. It looks like this is all only in Japanese, though, except for the bottom here, an MS that supported the latter MSV boom. So yeah, this is just talking a little bit about the Johnny Ridden's Zaku 2, MSV high mobility type Zaku there. Alright, so let's take a look at the runners. Alright, so to start off, let's take another look just briefly at that giant waterslide decal sheet. Obviously, mostly all here in white, which may cause a little bit of an issue for me, actually. We have one Xeon symbol there in yellow, and then a little bit of red here, including a pink little waterslide decal there for the mono eye, which is kind of unique. But anyway, that's the waterslide decals. Again, there's our joint covers on the back. Then we do also have our two springs here for the sides of the legs. Then we've got PC200. This is it for the polycaps. So very, very small polycap runner in this case. And as you saw in the manual, there's even a few of these we're not going to use. So going to be very light on the polycaps in this case. Alright, so first runner here is a brand new runner, runner A1. This is marked Master Grade 100 Psycho Zaku TB for Thunderbolt. A 4-color runner for the A runner. So we've got some white there on the side, a few little bits there. Some clear across the top, looks like parts like for the mono eye, the visor, and then a couple of camera lenses there basically. Some orange all across here for cockpit hatches, spikes, not the V-fin, but the antenna. And then some gold, a whole bunch of molded gold thrusters there. And the gold doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit more like a brownish gold, so it looks okay. But in case that wasn't enough thruster bells, we do also have a runner A2 as well, which is a copy of this half of the runner here. A couple more clear parts, a couple more orange parts, and a whole lot more gold thruster bells. And next runner B is just in a kind of very slightly bluish, kind of dark gray color here. This is another totally new runner for this kit. So as you can see, there's obviously a lot of very unique parts that would definitely be new. For this one on here, we've just got mostly frame parts, handle parts for the, I guess that's probably for the beam bazooka. Some other parts for that there as well. I can see a new torso part there, looks like this is another new part for the beam bazooka, so looks like we have this probably the same beam bazooka that has been included in previous kits, but a little bit different in this case, so that's kind of interesting. We'll have to take a look at that more. Anyway, there's the cable tubing parts there for around the head and around the stomach section of the Zaku as well. Runner C is in the same color, and this is a totally new runner, although some parts of it look like this could be from the just regular, previously released Zaku 2.0, but like especially these thigh parts here are very recognizable, but going to be a little bit different in this case. Anyway, these are just frame parts, mostly for the legs it looks like, and then more weapon handles here, so I'm guessing we just got all new weapon handles to accommodate some new hands for the kit. And we do have two of this C runner here. And then runner D is once again in the same color, dark gray, slightly bluish plastic. Again, totally new runner here for this one as well. And we do have two of this D runner. This looks like maybe some parts for the mechanical arms on the back, as well as other things here and there. It's kind of hard to tell, actually. There's a lot of stuff here. But runner D, on the other hand, definitely has a lot of stuff for the backpack, because it looks like the majority of these parts actually go in the backpack here. So this is all in white. It's very slightly off-white, I guess. It's pretty much white, but a little bit different, I guess. And then we do have two of this E runner as well. Again, still all new parts so far. But starting from runner F, here is where we start to get into some of the older parts. So this is back to that same inner frame color. These are all parts from the Master Grade 100 scale Zaku version 2.0 inner frame parts here. So this runner is from 2007, but there are going to be a bunch of these parts that we're not going to use. So you'll have a lot of leftover extra Zaku parts when you're done. And runner G is, once again, all of the parts from the version 2.0 Master Grade Zaku, so a bunch of parts here that we're not going to be using. I'm very happy to see that it looks like we have the original 2.0 hands. I hope that we're able to actually build those hands, because from what I can see on the kit, I think this kit has totally new hands for it, and I don't really particularly care for the look of the hands of the Psycho Zaku. So if I can just build the regular 2.0 hands from this, I don't know if the handle will work with the weapons or not, so I don't know, we'll have to see. But anyway, there's that. The runner H is just more of the same inner frame parts here from the Master Grade Zaku 2.0. A bunch of parts here we're not going to be using in this case, but these are all here for the inner frame. And then runner I is just in that same molded gold again color like we saw on the A runner. And anyway, this is all just once again from the original version 2.0 Master Grade Zaku kit. But in this case we have 4 of these runners, so quite a lot of those. And still yet more older parts. These are just parts for making the Heat Hawk and the machine gun and some bazooka parts on there, but I think we won't be using those bazooka parts, 'cause I think those are for the regular Zaku bazooka. So we've got 2 of this J runner for all the weapon stuff. But then we get back to some new parts here with runner K. This is all in that kind of darker red color for some of the main armor parts for the shoulder, the legs, and the shield are all molded here on the K runner. Totally new runner here in this case. And the same thing here for runner L. This is just in that same dark red color, just all these new armor parts for this. So we've got the runner L1, and then we do also have runner L2, which is a copy of this side here for parts for the arms, legs, feet, and all that fun stuff on there. And for runner N here, we've got an ABS runner here, just in the dark gray color, different from the dark gray we had before. This is just a standard dark gray. This one doesn't have that same kind of blue tint to it. So these are going to be some of the more structural pieces again. Looks like mostly for the backpack. And yeah, I believe it looks like where most of this stuff is going to be going. So they went with ABS in this case for the N runner. Here's the O runner, which is just the parts for the giant bazooka. There are a few like frame parts on here that we won't be using, so we have some leftover parts. But these are all the parts to make the giant bazooka. So we do have 3 of this O runner for making 3 of those. And then the big one here, runner P, has our main parts for the fuel tanks. 1/2 of the giant fuel tank, 2/2 of the smaller one, including some bracket parts there. This is in like a really dark brownish, maroonish color for this, and so we do have 2 of this P runner as well. Really huge parts for that. Then in that same dark brownish color, we've got some more new parts here for the backpack, and the new hands are molded here on this runner. They look like fixed finger pose hands, so like you just swap the fingers for those. Kind of has been the style for some of the master grades recently. So that is the Q runner. There's Q1, and then Q2 is a copy of this side of the runner here. Then we've got runner R, is in a kind of navy blue color. So these are for some parts around on the body, and then a couple parts there for the backpack as well. So we've got runner R1 as well as runner R2, which is a copy of this side of the runner here. Then finally we've got runner S1, which is parts for making more Stormfausts, more magazines, more ammo for the Zaku machine gun, as well as parts for making the beam bazooka. So I figured the beam bazooka was just reused from a different kit, but I guess maybe not. Maybe it's a different design. I'll have to take a look at it more closely, or it's just the same parts and just rearranged on the runner differently, because this is a totally new runner, at least the layout anyway. So then we do also have runner S2, which is a copy of this, to give us just a little bit more ammunition stuff there. And last but certainly not least, this is actually runner O, but since there's just a regular runner O, I just kind of saved this one for last. This is the base 5 is what this is called. This runner is actually from 2008, so this has been used before, although offhand I can't think of what kit used this in 2008. I'm sure one of you guys will remember. You can let me know in the comments below. This is just molded all in black. Definitely you'll have to do some sanding on this to get that perfectly flat, because you can see some like press markings in there. You should even be able to see that there on camera. So once that's painted, those are still going to show, unfortunately, so just sanding that will help to get rid of those. Anyway, so that's it for our base. Looks like a very strong base. It should hopefully be able to do the job of holding up this gigantic kit. Alright, so yeah, finally that is it. So sorry this is a longer unboxing video, but obviously this is a very huge kit with a lot of stuff to go through. So I'll be getting to work on snapping this up right away. So usually my review video comes directly after the unboxing video. I try to keep it that way, but in this case I won't. I want to get this unboxing video out for you guys as soon as possible. So I'll upload this one right away, and then the review video will be coming shortly after that. As soon as I can get this kit snapped up and reviewed, I'll have the review out for you guys, but there'll be some other videos that I've already got done that I'll just put in between there. So yeah, I'll get the review out as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will say right now that for the month of January and February, I actually have a lot of time off from my work, because it's like winter vacation from my school. So I'm planning to actually paint this kit right away. So after I review this kit, I am hoping to get right to work on just painting it right away, because it's such a huge kit. I actually kind of just want to paint it and enjoy painting it, and then sell it because it's just too huge. I don't want to have it around. I'm really going to enjoy working on it, and then I just don't really have any space to keep it. So that's my plans for this kit. So after the review, I will be working on this alongside my mega size Zaku. So I'll just be like totally Zaku'd out for the next 2 months probably, while I'm finishing up 2 huge projects of Zaku's. But So you'll see more of this very soon after the review as well. So that's it for this unboxing, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.